Hello and welcome. My name's Leanne. I live in Australia and this is my crafty cupboard.
Hello everyone. It's a lovely afternoon here today. I've just gotten out of the pool to cool off. It's like an ice bath to me. I don't know how people hop in ice baths. Anyway, at last, the prompt for Roxy's Journal of Stitchery that we've been waiting for, the buttons. How many hours of fun did we have as children just sitting and playing with the button tin? So I was going to be very restrained. These are the buttons that I picked out for the mood board at the start of the challenge, and I was going to restrain myself and dip only into this jar. However, this glorious jar, I had to keep upsizing my jars, sits on Leanne's crafty cupboard. And there were buttons in it that were calling to me. And I kept trying to resist. But I do feel as if I probably have to delve into this jar and have a little play and see. I mean, I had a little forage before I turned the camera on. Look what I've already got. I mean, all of these pieces of gorgeousness were calling to me from inside the jar. Sadly, I think I probably can't use the ones with the shanks on the back because they'll sit out too high from the piece. And look at that, isn't it beautiful? So my sister has our mum's tin of jars. She's a sewer as well, and she probably gave me most of my craft skills in my life. Spent a lot of time with me as I was growing up, teaching me how to make things. So my buttons are a mixture of, I think I have some of the old family buttons, but these are just ones that I collect when I go to op shops and things. The sewing basket in Balmain is a lot of fun. They have this big bucket on their counter, and I think it's something like $1 or $2 a tankard of buttons. You just scoop this little tankard and bring home all these little treasures to sort through and have fun with. So look, I might use these ones that were sort of the right colour and feel for the project. But I am thinking of making sort of flowers for the side of the box and with buttons as the centre. So it is lots of fun to sort of rummage and shake and rattle through the jar as it is, but excuse the noise. When I really want to have a good look, this is what I do. I pour it into the kitchen container so I can have a good rummage through. So I'm just going to go through and sort of pull out anything that speaks to me in terms of the project, the colours of the project, and I guess sort of the elegance of the project. I mean, when we've got sort of silk and organza and heavily beaded lid, I think we need to sort of find the sort of, showstopper type buttons. I was watching Christine's video and going through her buttons, and it was just lovely. And I saw that she had these as well. And then I was thinking, were they some of the ones that she sent me, or is it just a coincidence? Wow, look at that. Getting sidetracked. I mean, we could sit and do this for hours, couldn't we? Just sit and rummage through. It's curious. I wonder what that is. It's actually sort of like someone's brooch of something. The buttons I remember in my mum's jar for one sort of like this sort of material and all different colours. I mean, they just look like little lollies to me. I loved sort of sitting and sorting through them for hours. It's a curious one. Look at that, it's sort of like a saucer. I think that's a happy accident. I think that's two separate buttons and this one's found a home inside that one. Yep. Well, you can stay nestled like that because that's cute. I must limit my time. I must not spend too long rummaging through the buttons and actually make something with the buttons. What's that? An R and an R, isn't it? So I have a couple of these. Wow, that's a spectacular button. Must have come off a coat or something, don't you think? Oh, now there's a blast from the past. Look at that. A 2-cent coin. We don't have 2-cent coins anymore in Australia. Can't really focus on it. Trying to read the year. Sorry, I'm going to have to bring it closer to my eyes. Put it in the light. Oh, she's struggling. Hang on. I think it says 1975. So it's nearly as old as me. Let's see. Well, I think I might let my rummaging end there. And, oh look, it happened again, another happy accident. That looks cute, doesn't it? Button inside a button. So I might force myself to put aside the buttons. She says as she's ignoring herself and still rummaging through the buttons. Let's try and make something with them. Okay, so my idea is just to create like a range of sort of, frills with buttons in the middle that will hopefully look like beautiful little flowers. I'm just going to gather, I have this scrap of ribbon that I've gotten out into the mood board. Let's just start gathering quite randomly. Some of that, for example. you know, and then something in the center. Oh, yeah, beautiful, but might be a bit intense compared to the rest of the buttons. I really love this one. It's interesting. It doesn't have like a, I'm wondering if it used to have a little metal shank or something in it. But I'm thinking because it's got all these threads here, I'll be able to just perhaps hook through those and stitch it down. Yeah, let's be generous and gather a bit more. This ribbon. What have I done here? I've caught it up somehow. That's better, isn't it? Oh, did I actually go around the ribbon? If I feed that back through, does that work? Yes, it does. I found that when I was rummaging through the things I'd pulled out for the mood board too, this beautiful little heart. Thought, wouldn't that have been perfect for Love Week? In fact, I am finding that now as we're heading towards the end that I am starting to sort of revisit some of the prompts again, you know, or do a bit more on each one. The ones I particularly liked. I have actually worked on the love prompt again, and when I get the video ready for that, I will put it up. Maybe after this one, because it was out of sequence now. You know, the love prompt was a while ago, and now the button prompt has been released. I thought, well, I'll do the button for now. So I might leave that at that and cut it off. Been catching up on everyone's videos. I was away for a few nights for work through the week, which meant then I didn't get any video watching in. It's just really lovely to see everyone's progress and how things are really starting to sort of come together now. It's beautiful. All right, so which button is going to be the winner for the centre of you? Whoops. Let's have a little audition, shall we? Quite nice. I'd love you if you were sort of embroidered, a little embroidery on there. Don't know if it's possible to embroider an already stitched down button. You are spectacular, however, this is too small for you. Oops. Okay, you wanted to fly away. Let's try your friend. Both of them are saying, no, don't pick us. All right then, that's not bad. I quite like that. Yeah, didn't think that I'd go for the sort of tweedy type one, but you're the winner. You are going to be the centre of attention in this little flower. Let's pop you in there. Spread everything around a little. Stitch it through. Just going to catch that there and stitch that through. Okay, so I'm going to make a few more flowers this way with different sorts of, scraps of ribbon and lace, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've done a range. I've got this scrap of silk around this beautiful vintage button, and some scrap tulle around the little blue covered button. Reminds me of a poppy, not that you get them in this colour, but. And that organza ribbon around the sort of tweed button. Some pink organza scrap around that gorgeous mauve covered button. You can see I have ended up doing the shanks buttons because with the gathered ribbons and things behind them anyway, they sit out, This is actually when I was cutting away the net. So you can see I've commenced the process of cutting the net away from behind the beading, so it's just like the beads are sitting on the box. So that's from that piece of beaded. So I just use that backing. I always see these buttons and think crocheted knitted baby's clothes. Cute. And then this one I haven't stitched together yet, but it's that little flower that came with some cottons I bought in a thrift store. And I'll just stitch it down with a little button. And I've just drawn little circles where I think they'll go. So I'm just going to stitch them down with normal machine thread. I'm sort of nervous about this because I have to be careful to make sure the backing doesn't buckle. I don't know if this is achievable. So I'm just taking a few stitches in and out in one motion on the back here, just like that. Pulling it firmly so it'll stay in place, but not tight. The shank of the buttons getting in the way there. I can only really go this way. I was trying to do like a cross. Alright, is that held firmly? That's held firmly enough. Let's move to the next one. Which is this one. Got it on a dot there. I initially spread these out right up the length of the side of this fabric and then realised, luckily, that I have to make allowances for look at me being naughty and stretching that far with thread. I have to make allowances for the lid to go on, so it can't go all the way to the top. Okay. I won't be naughty and go all the way up to the top. I'll cut it. Yeah, you get the idea. So I'm going to keep doing that to all the little pieces and I'll be back. Okay, so they're all stitched on and I've glued down the sides. So we've got the whole box side ready to go. And it all turned out fine. It didn't pucker, so there's no problem. A glorious blooming garden of buttons. So that goes with my other sides so far that I've created. This was one of the extras for the botanical prompts. I did ribbon embroidered roses. And this was, I think, our first prompt, the monogram. So if you haven't seen me make these other pieces of the box, go back and check out my playlist, Treasure Hunt, and you can see everything created so far. This is the lid of the box. So with those pieces you can get the feel for the appearance of the outside. Very over the top. I love it. I'm having the best time. And then the inside of the box, this is the inner lid. So this was the vintage embroidery prompt. So this will actually go on the reverse of this. Just bring him out a little. And I am toying with the idea of making some beaded trim to go in between that would sort of hang down for some even more bling, hang down the sides of the box. But you'll just have to stay tuned to see if I do that or not. So that's the outer lid and inner lid. And then so far on the insides of the box, I have pincushion and thread keep. This is a pocket. Needle book. Tool pocket. So you can put in things like needle threader, spare needles, that sort of thing. And a bead pocket to sort of store the little packets of beads that I'm using at the time. And so these sides all fall out when you take the lid off the box, so that you have everything sort of splayed out like so to use. Well, actually that won't be in this on the bottom, that'll be on the top. I haven't made the bottom yet because I'm still undecided as to how I want to go. We'll see what future prompts come up with. Yeah, so thoroughly enjoying this project. It's a lot of fun. Exploring all new techniques and, using the prompts that the sisters give us. Thank you so much, Rachel and Sarah. This is just the best fun. Well, that's where I'll leave it for today. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. And my beaded iris has bloomed. How exquisite.